TikTok.
TikTok has stopped working in the United States. It's disappeared from Apple and Google app stores too, as part of a blackout ahead of a law implementing its shutdown.
TikTok is banned in America, but it's not giving up. In its last effort, TikTok tried to bring down other Chinese apps like Shein and TEMU. TikTok says these apps are also taking Americans' data. TikTok's lawyer, Noel Francisco, reveals something unexpected.
The United States government concedes that it has no evidence that China has ever attempted to date to control the U.S. TikTok platform.
These apps may be working with the Chinese government to collect personal information. This video will show you how this fight started and what it means for your privacy. Let's dive in. TikTok started as a simple app but grew quickly. As it became popular, people started to ask big questions. They worried about TikTok's safety and how it deals with user data. Some pointed out that the app's parent company, ByteDance, is based in China. That raised fears that China could make ByteDance share user data. Some even worried TikTok might be used for spying or spreading propaganda. With over 170 million Americans using TikTok, these fears grew. ByteDance said the data is kept in the US and Singapore, not China. They promised to protect privacy, but people still worried. In 2020, President Trump tried to ban TikTok because of security fears. This led to a legal fight over whether safety or free speech was more important. TikTok said the ban was political, and courts blocked it, letting the app stay in the US. TikTok kept growing, but the tension between the US and China made things harder. As both countries added sanctions, TikTok was in the news again. ByteDance tried to solve things by talking to US companies like Microsoft and Oracle to sell part of the app. But China didn't want to give up TikTok's algorithm, which they thought was too valuable. This made things look even more suspicious, and the legal fight continued into 2021, with President Biden now in charge. In July 2021, President Biden canceled Trump's order and made a new one. This order looked at apps that could hurt security, like TikTok. For a while, TikTok felt safe, but worries about privacy and safety didn't go away. In 2022 and 2023, lawmakers and officials started to worry more about the app. It was banned on Army and Navy devices. Many states also wanted laws to limit its use in schools and public places. The focus on keeping the country safe has only grown stronger. Let's talk about something important. We often hear about security and privacy, but it's time to think about TikTok. The main issue is privacy. We know social media collects our information, but TikTok's link to China has raised big concerns. TikTok doesn't just take your name and phone number. It tracks your device, where you go, and even what you search. It knows your location, the videos you watch, and what you look for. This makes the app more addictive, giving you content you like. But it also puts your private data at risk. People worry that China could get this information, and that worry is real. China has a history of stealing data, like in the 2017 Equifax hack, where the Chinese military stole information from 150 million Americans. That's the same data TikTok has. The FBI has warned that China is a threat to our data. They've even hacked US companies and government agencies. This is not a theory, it's happening. The data China steals could be used to hurt people or steal ideas. So when we talk about TikTok, it's not just politics. It's a serious issue that affects everyone who uses the app. People's only concern about TikTok is not just about privacy. Another concern is that it could spread fake news or control what we see. TikTok has a lot of power, and people fear it might push certain ideas while hiding others. For example, during the Hong Kong protests in 2019, some videos were taken down from Chinese social media, including TikTok's Chinese version. Protesters' data was also tracked, leading to arrests and disappearances. This makes people worry that TikTok might try to control sensitive topics in the US too. Another problem is keeping harmful content off the app. Millions of videos are posted every day, and it's hard for TikTok to check them all. Sometimes bad content slips through, putting younger users at risk. TikTok tries to keep the platform safe with rules and both automatic and human moderators, but it's not easy. Now first, like always, be sure to hit the like button down below. It helps us out tremendously with the reach of this video. Thank you. There are also worries about TikTok affecting people's mental health. Like other social media, it can create false expectations and lead to anxiety or sadness. TikTok's short, fun videos can be addictive. People might spend hours on the app without realizing it, which could hurt their well-being. There are real concerns that TikTok might be damaging people's minds in the US. In April 2024, President Biden signed a law that affected ByteDance, TikTok's parent company. The law gave them two choices: sell TikTok by January 19, 2025, or face a ban in the US. By December 6th, ByteDance took the law to court, saying it went against their First Amendment rights. They claimed the law stopped them from using TikTok to communicate. A panel of 3 judges disagreed. They said the law was needed to protect national security and did not hurt free speech. This was a big blow for ByteDance. Time was running out, and their choices were few. With no way to keep TikTok, they asked the Supreme Court for help. This led to the hearing that followed. On January 10th, the Supreme Court heard a case about TikTok's ban. ByteDance tried to stop it, arguing the law was unfair and violated free speech. The justices disagreed, saying the law was about safety, not free speech. They questioned whether foreign companies should have the same rights as US companies, especially when it comes to collecting data. TikTok's lawyer, Noel Francisco, raised a key point. If data privacy was the concern, why weren't other Chinese companies like Shein and TEMU being banned too? This raised bigger questions about foreign control and data collection, making people rethink the focus on TikTok. In the end, the case wasn't just about TikTok. It sparked a larger conversation about China's influence on its companies and the data they gather from Americans. The January 19th deadline is gone, and ByteDance is feeling the pressure. If the Supreme Court approves the law, ByteDance must sell TikTok, or it will be banned in the US. That would be a huge loss because TikTok is one of the most popular apps with millions of users in America. But it's not just about users, it's about money too. In 2023, ByteDance made $120 billion worldwide, and TikTok earned $16 billion just from the US. That's over 13% of their total earnings. TikTok is key to ByteDance's success, especially outside China. Selling it would be a hard choice for them. This case is about more than one app. It has sparked a big debate. Some believe the law is needed to protect national security. Others think it goes too far and takes away free speech. One thing is clear: the decision will change how the US handles foreign tech companies and data privacy. It's not just about TikTok, it's about the future of social media, online safety, and who controls the digital world. The Supreme Court's choice will set a strong example for years to come. When the TikTok ban was set for January 19th, many people wanted to buy it because it's so valuable. Everyone wants a piece of it. Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank says he wants to buy TikTok with a partner. He thinks he can stop it from being banned in the US. He's teaming up with Frank McCourt, the founder of Project Liberty, to buy TikTok's US assets from ByteDance, its Chinese owner. O'Leary believes this is the last chance to save TikTok. He says it's not just for him, it's for the 170 million Americans who use it every day. He also added, "I don't want it to shut down. It's bad for business. It's bad for 6 million small businesses that rely on it. Congress worries about spyware, so we just need to remove that part. That's why my team and Frank McCourt made an offer. We don't even want the algorithm, just the platform." Now, everyone's asking, will TikTok be saved, or will millions of users lose a platform they love? In court, the company argued that no one would buy TikTok without its algorithm. But that's not true. Many would still buy it. Without the algorithm, it's just spyware, so they'll rebuild it and make it better. The US could ban TikTok under a law passed in April called the Protecting Americans from Foreign Adversary-Controlled Applications Act. President Joe Biden signed it, and now TikTok's future is in danger. But there's hope. Project Liberty, led by billionaire Frank McCourt and Shark Tank's Kevin O'Leary, also known as Mr. Wonderful, it's called the People's Bid for TikTok. Kevin O'Leary and his team have put in a bid to buy TikTok's US assets, The offer is worth about $20 billion, which might be enough to stop the ban. What's interesting? Just making a bid puts the ban on hold, starting a 90-day review period. 90 days might not sound long, but it delayed the ban until Donald Trump was back in office. Let's talk about the next buyer, Bobby Kotick, former head of Activision Blizzard, who wants to buy TikTok with help from investors. Zheng Yiming, co-founder of ByteDance, and Sam Altman, CEO of OpenAI, are also involved. Microsoft, which almost bought TikTok in 2021, could try again as TikTok faces problems. Elon Musk is rumored to want TikTok too, potentially tying it to his platform X, formerly Twitter. Other famous figures like Mr. Beast and Meek Mill have shown interest in buying. Losing TikTok would impact millions of creators and businesses that rely on it. People are fighting to keep it or find a way to fix the issues without shutting it down, as it's vital for jobs and commerce. The stakes are high, and solutions are urgently needed. So, how did all this begin? Let's find out. In 2020, Trump tried to ban TikTok.
We're looking at TikTok. We may be banning TikTok,
citing security risks, leading to a legal battle. But in 2024, during his re-election campaign, he promised to save TikTok to gain young voters' support. In December 2024, he pushed to delay the ban, hoping to resolve security concerns while keeping the app popular. Some believe Trump might ignore the ban if re-elected, allowing TikTok to stay. This flip-flop highlights how politics shift for votes. If the Supreme Court approves the ban, TikTok would be removed from app stores, and current users would eventually lose access as it stops receiving updates. For creators, this would be a disaster. Many influencers, artists, and businesses rely on TikTok to grow their brand. Without it, they lose their main platform. Those who make a living from TikTok would suddenly lose their income. And it's not just the famous influencers. New creators trying to grow would struggle to reach new audiences. Businesses will feel the impact. TikTok is vital for many companies to reach customers. They use it for ads, to connect with younger people, and to boost sales. If the app is banned, they'll need new plans. This means higher costs, fewer sales, and spending more to rebuild their presence elsewhere. Small businesses rely on TikTok to promote their products. Without it, they lose a valuable tool. TikTok makes a big difference. In 2023, it helped the U.S. economy by $24.2 billion and supported 224,000 jobs. All of this disappears with a ban. On the tech side, internet providers may block TikTok.
Now, the U.S. Supreme Court has upheld a law banning TikTok from operating in America.
If that happens, the app will still be there, but it won't work. No new videos, no comments, no likes. TikTok will feel empty. Legally, banning TikTok might lead to tougher rules for other foreign apps. Apps like You and Shein, which are linked to China, could face the same fate. This could be just the start. If TikTok gets blocked, many users will likely move to other platforms. Apps like Instagram, YouTube, X, and newer ones like Triller could see a surge in users sharing content. This may lead to more competition as these platforms fight to attract TikTok's audience. Content creation could change as a result. TikTok has become a huge part of our culture. It has influenced trends, helped artists grow, and built a unique online community. A ban would disrupt things for creators, users, and even casual viewers. TikTok gave us viral challenges, memes, and creative videos. Losing it would create a void that other apps might not be able to fill. But let's be honest. Even if the government blocks TikTok, people will still find ways around it. Those just looking for entertainment could use a VPN to mask their location. With a VPN, you could appear to be browsing from anywhere, like France, even if you're in Arizona. Countries like Turkey have blocked social media for years, but most people there still use a VPN to get around it. No one knows how long this loophole will stay open, but it was supposed to protect us till January 19th. If a ban happens, it's not the end. ByteDance could sell TikTok to a non-Chinese company.
TikTok is now calling on the Supreme Court to review legislation that would ban the app in the U.S. unless its China-based parent company, ByteDance, sells it by next month.
which would let Americans use it again. So, there's always a way out. Is this just a US issue? Not really. Other countries have already banned TikTok for privacy reasons. India was one of the first to ban it in 2020, citing national security concerns. This was a big deal because millions of people in India use TikTok. In 2022, Afghanistan banned TikTok under the Taliban, saying it misled young people. Countries like Nepal, Iran, Syria, and Uzbekistan also banned the app for cultural and security reasons. In the US, many states banned TikTok on government devices due to data security worries and fears that China might access American data. Countries like Australia, Belgium, Canada, and Denmark have stopped using TikTok on government devices. The European Union and France also banned it because of concerns about data security. It's interesting to see how different countries are responding to the same problem. While the US is still working on TikTok's issues, other countries are already taking steps to limit or control the app. This has led to TikTok being involved in a Supreme Court case, showing its close ties to the Chinese Communist Party and raising big questions about privacy and national security. It's a complex situation with real concerns on one side and TikTok's large cultural impact on the other. What does this mean for us? The digital world is always changing, and the apps we use every day are part of bigger discussions about privacy, security, and politics. As users and creators, we must stay informed and engaged in these important topics. Thanks for watching. See you next time.